How do 5 children vanish from a burning house without leaving a single bone behind? Christmas Eve, 1945. A fire rips through a family home in West Virginia. By morning, the house is nothing but ash. Parents George and Jenny Sodder survived, 4 of their children survived, but the other 5 gone. Police said they burned to death, but science says that's impossible. So, did they die? Or were they stolen in the chaos of the night? This isn't just a tragedy. This is one of American history's most disturbing unsolved mysteries. Let's go back to where it started. Fayetteville, West Virginia. The night before Christmas. The air outside is freezing, but inside the Sodder home, it's full of life. George, Jenny, and 9 of their 10 children are celebrating. The younger kids are playing with new toys to excite it to sleep. The atmosphere is perfect. Almost perfect. Around 10 p.m., the exhausted parents take little Sylvia to bed. The older boys and girls head upstairs. But outside in the shadows, someone is watching. The nightmare begins quietly. At 12:30 a.m., the phone rings. Jenny wakes up. The house is silent, yet the lights are still blazing. She picks up the receiver. On the other end, there's no familiar voice. Just a woman asking for a stranger, followed by a sound that chills Jenny to the bone of weird, manic laughter. Then a click. The line goes dead. Confused, Jenny notices the front door is unlocked and the curtains are open. A violation of their strict routine. She locks up and goes back to bed. But sleep doesn't last long. Sound effect. A loud thud on the roof. Something rolling down ***. She hears a heavy thud on the roof. Like a rock. Or a grenade. She ignores it, a mistake she will regret for the rest of her life. Half an hour later, the smell of smoke wakes her again. This time, it's not a drill. Jenny screams. The lower floor is filling with fire. She and George escape with 4 children, but the staircase to the upper floor where the other 5 children are sleeping is a wall of flames. George tries to go back in, but this is where reality starts to glitch. He runs for the ladder always kept by the side of the house. It's gone! He runs to his 2 coal trucks, planning to climb them to reach the upstairs window. Both trucks refuse to start. Despite working perfectly the day before, he tries to use water from the rain barrel. Frozen solid. It's as if an invisible hand is stopping him at every turn. For 45 minutes, the parents scream their children's names into the roaring fire. But from the upstairs windows, there is no scream, no cry for help, only silence. The sun rises over a pile of smoking ash. The firefighters finally arrive 7 hours late. They search the debris, expecting the worst. They look for bodies, but they find nothing. No skulls, no teeth, no bones. The fire chief claims the fire was hot enough to vaporize the bodies completely, but George Sodder doesn't buy it. He later burns animal bones in a furnace at maximum heat to test the theory. The bones remain. A cremation expert confirms it. A house fire cannot make a human body disappear without a trace. So, if the bodies weren't in the ashes, where were the children? The deeper the Sodders dig, the darker the truth becomes. The missing ladder, found days later, hidden in a ditch. The trucks, a mechanic reveals they were tampered with. The telephone line, it wasn't burned by the fire. It was cut cleanly by someone who climbed the pole. This was not an accident. This was a calculated hit. But why? George Sodder was an outspoken critic of the Italian dictator Mussolini. Months earlier, a local man had threatened him, warning that his house would be burned and his children destroyed for his political views. Was this a political kidnapping masked as a tragedy? Witnesses came forward. Some saw fireballs being thrown at the house. Others saw a car driving away with children inside while the house burned. Yet, the police closed the case. Accidental fire. The Sodders never gave up. They erected a billboard on Route 16 featuring the haunting faces of Maurice, Martha, Louis, Jenny, and Betty. For decades, that billboard stared at passers-by asking, what was their fate 20 years later? A glimmer of hope. Jenny receives a letter with no return address inside. A photo of a young man who looks exactly like Louis would have looked as an adult. On the back, a cryptic message, Louis Sodder, I love brother Frankie. Little boys. A 90132. They sent a private investigator to find him. The investigator never returned. He vanished, just like the children. George and Jenny Sodder died without ever knowing the truth. The house was never rebuilt. The site is now a memorial garden. Did the children die that night? Or were they forced to live secret lives, stripped of their names and memories? Some say they are still out there, waiting to be found. What do you think really happened to the Sodder children? Did they burn, or were they stolen? Let me know your theory in the comments below. And if you want to explore more dark mysteries of history, make sure to subscribe. You won't want to miss what's coming next.